Well, we have a peek at East Africa. From there, from here we can see a crash of rhinos out there, wildebeest, and a tower of giraffes.
Oh, look at the giraffe.
It's a carabao.
Oh, look at the giraffe killer. Giraffes.
Oh, look at that. Look at the giraffe.
Say hi, giraffe.
What is that?
Hi. Hi, giraffe.
What's that smell?
Sit ka na.
Hi, giraffe.
Hi, giraffe.
We will be returning here to East Africa towards the end of the tour. So hopefully we'll still have some activity out here by the time we come back.
And what do you see?
We've been also getting a lot of our birds back out here in the
That's a
field.
buffalo.
So on the right side, still huddled in the corner. They're still getting used to being back out here in the path. We've got a flamboyance of flamingos on the right side. They're right in the corner.
Mababaho yung tae.
We still can't stop, so we will spook them a little bit. We're just going to pass by. Those were greater flamingos. The Sandiego Zoo Safari Park is part of our two front doors. Our other door, the Sandiego Zoo. We are both part of the Sandiego Zoo Wildlife Alliance. And when you pass by any of those two doors, or just anything in the park, you not only help us out with many conservation projects all over the world, but you help us provide a world where all wildlife can thrive. We are going to pass by one of our conservation projects out here, the Nikita Khan Rhino Rescue Center. And we'll see if there's any rhinos out there this afternoon. We do see some California mule deer out there amongst the grass, the whole little herd. Those California mule deer are not from the safari park, they're actually locals. They live here in San Diego, in our local habitat. However, sometimes they do jump over the fence and they enjoy their day in here in the safari park because it's not only a safe place, but they also enjoy the free buffet of plant life that we have here in the park. Also looks like there's no rhinos out here. It looks like they might be in the front yard today. So we're going to continue. However, the rhinos that do live here have a really important job. The female southern white rhinos will one day become separate mothers through in vitro, helping us reduce motifs, the northern white rhino. And this is very important because sadly, we only got 2 northern white rhinos left in the whole entire world. So with all the research and the work we're doing here, we hope to help those rhinos come back from the brink of extinction.
Wow.
Just like those California mule deer we saw, we also get a lot of local birds out here. Out there in the ponds, we see quite the sprinkling of ducks. There's cormorants up on the trees. And as we round the corner, we start seeing the savanna habitat, the main habitat. We're going to take a look out there. And hopefully we'll have lots and lots of activity out there. We'll see what everybody is doing right now that the sun's out for a little bit.
Lucky. Lucky we came here.
Weather forecast. 12, 1, 2, 3 yata. Stop ang rain.
Tapos ulan na naman.
Ulan na naman. 40% ng mga
We're going to pass one of our other bird marshes. Again, we won't be able to stop, but if you do turn towards your right, after we pass the gate, you might get to see some vultures or some pelicans.
What are these?
Han, kunin mo kasi ito. Han daw, punta si Caleb sa'yo.
Wala na, mas madami dyan.
It looks like some of the vultures were pruning themselves and sunning and drying off the rain.
Wow, look at the giraffe.
To the left side, we start seeing one of our many antelopes we'll see out here in the field.
That's an antelope.
It looks like two members are enjoying some food at the feeding trough. So we're actually going to move up just a little bit more forward as we have the rest of the herd. We're on this feeding trough.
There's a giraffe over there. There's giraffe.
Also off in the distance, we've got another tower of giraffes out there.
The skin. Oh, look.
Much darker in color, especially with smaller, celestial spots. The tower we do see far off in the distance are the Maasai's. Hopefully, if they're still up there when we make our full circle around, we might get a closer look at them. But at the feeding trough, we've got the rest of that little herd of antelopes. These are the hensbok.
Wow.
The hensbok have beautiful stripy patterns on their faces. Their stripes have a purpose. It's going to make other animals focus more on their little ears. So if you look closely, you might see that in the ears, they have little black circles. For some animals, those little black circles might look like eyes. So whenever they spread out their ears, those circles are just going to make the hensbok seem like a much bigger animal than they really are.
Wow.
Also, way up on the hillside, we have the Patterson elands. They kind of look like caramelly cows out there. And those are going to be our biggest antelope species we have out in the fields. A few more Patterson elands are sprinkled around on the hillside, as well as more hemboks out there. But those big Patterson elands can weigh around 2,000 pounds, while measuring around 6 feet in height.
Parang hindi kayo.
Very big
Para
antelope.
ma-preserve. Baka nila
Yung pan? Yung antelope?
Bahay na yung cake, no?
Oo.
Para meron silang kumain.
Aray ko kayo na ba?
As we make our way over to the other end of the habitat, we might see some more animals. Take a look at the trees out here to our left. They look very different from any trees we'll see off onto our right side. The trees out here on the left are growing very different, much more taller, way up higher in the sky. And the top of the leaves might look like little umbrellas or mushroom tops.
Oh, yeah.
The shape of the trees out here is not due to the horticulture team, but actually the giraffes out here. Our little tower of Maasai's are the ones responsible for shaping all the trees out here on our left. And even giraffes out in the wild will shape trees in their habitat as well. And this helps create bigger shady spots for smaller animals. We reached our way over to our next herd of animals. We got the Cape buffaloes.
Oh, Carabao. Buffalo.
And this little herd here is our female herd of Cape buffaloes. There's a few little teenagers out there. If you carefully look, you might still be able to tell them apart. You see two of them at the feeding trough. They're still very small compared to their mom. So you're gonna come over here where most of the herd is. The Cape buffaloes are going to be one of the toughest animals you'll see out on the savannah. These guys are not afraid to even stand up against a lion if they need to. They'll form protective circles, with the bigger and tougher Cape buffaloes sticking to the outside, making sure all the babies and elder capes are safe right in the middle of their circle. They've got each other's backs. They're very protective of each other, just like a big family. They're also pretty good at staring down someone. As there's always one watching, making sure everything is safe.
Hard worker yung mga yan, hard worker.
It looks like everyone right now is kind of just enjoying a little bit of grazing and eating some lunch.
Yung mga nasa gitna, yung mga bata, yung mga nasa labas, yung mga nagpupunta.
Pwede po sa ngayon.
Tapos itututukan ka niya.
Still seems a little quiet out there to our right side, so we're going to continue going up this big hill in which we won't be able to stop until we reach the bridge. But if you continue to look out to your left, you might see some animals on our way up.
Oh, zebra!
As you might see some zebras off in the distance,
The zebra.
and definitely see some antelopes out here.
Under the tree there.
However, any of the antelopes we see out here in the forest habitat are going to be more orangey in color. Just like the roan antelopes we see way up on the hillside doing some grazing as well. Also on the hillside by the rocks, there are some Ugandan cobs. They're brightly orange in color.
Ano pangalan?
Ay, tawag sa kanila.
Oh yeah.
Enough for today, ha? Or else you're gonna have a problem sleeping again.
We'll be able to take a pause up here on the bridge where we get some very nice views.
Wow, nice.
From here we can see the whole savanna habitat as well as the surrounding Sampa Splendor. Everything is extra green out there from all the rain. Out to our right side, some more African forest habitat where we'll see some more antelopes. You can find the roan antelopes, again the ones with the big horns. We got some red lechwes and little red-footed gazelles. You might have already noticed that a lot of the antelopes we've seen up here at the forest so far have been orange in color. And this orange color is going to help everyone out here to camouflage. And this camouflage might not be very visible for us humans because we see in color and we know how to distinguish green and orange. However, if you were a predator that only saw in a grayscale, it'd be much more difficult to see these antelopes whenever they hide amongst the green grass or amongst the green trees.
Ayan, sila yata yung ulan. Nakita sa Jurassic World. You like it? Okay, may picture with Daddy first. Daddy.
Wow.
I want to take a picture.
There's a line.
Okay, Daddy, can you open the picture?
We're able to see the roan antelopes again
Wow.
out here to our left.
Right.
But if you follow this path all the way down, you'll be able to see the two grubby zebras right below
Look at the
by the
zebra.
feeding
Look at the
tube.
zebra.
Ay, yun ang lapit ko.
Also right up against the fence, that's a lowland Nyala. You'll notice he is not orange in color like the rest of the antelopes we've been seeing so far.
But where's the zebra?
For the lowland Nyala males, when they reach full maturity, they're this dark brown orangey color, much more furrier, and they get horns on their heads. The females will stay brightly orange with white stripes. This darker color makes it a little bit harder for this boy to camouflage. But sometimes the boy antelopes out there just want to dress to impress. There we go. And hopefully you guys can see the two grabbies down there. Looks like they're enjoying some food at the feeding trough. Grabbies are one of the larger species of zebra. And those big, beautiful stripes on their bodies are also going to help them camouflage. However, not like the antelopes we've seen in the forest. With zebras, instead, they camouflage only with their herd. So when you have a dazzle of zebras that are all running around at the same time, with all their movements of zebras and stripes, it can get a little confusing or overwhelming. It makes it very difficult to know where one zebra starts and where the other one ends.
Daddy, can more daw.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Pumunta sa amin to kayo.
Wala.
Alam na niya kung marunong daw.
Ano ko na biglang kukuha sa'yo.
Nasa baba ka kami.
So we're gonna leave the forest behind and make our way back down to the savanna habitat. We're both on our left and on the right, and we'll see our share of plants out here. Plants that continue all the way up the hillside and mountainside all around us. This plant life we do see around us belongs to our local habitat. Southwest Hub and the California coastal sage-grouse. A very important habitat, not only because it is our backyard here in Southern California, but it is one of the most endangered habitats.
Yeah,
we have out here in North America. It has a big biodiversity of plants, insects, and animals. We of course have conservation projects out here. One of our big ones is helping out the burrowing owls. In which, if you want to see some of those cute little ground owls, we've got a few located past Contour Ridge. But as you continue to walk around the park, always keep an eye out, as you might see some more local wildlife like those deers. It can be anywhere from ibises, bunnies, quails, or even roadrunners.
That's a bunny.
Ali. Play.
So we're back down here to the savanna habitat, seeing a lot of the antelopes we saw earlier, but now at a different viewpoint.
Malapit tayo.
Daddy, look red flowers.
Wow.
And it looks like we are in luck as the male giraffe is still up here. So again, these giraffes are the Maasai.
Look at the giraffe.
Much more darker in color, especially the boy out here.
Oh, different color.
As he is literally the definition of tall, dark, and handsome of the group.
Wow. Liam, look at the giraffe, Liam.
Giraffes, of course, being the tallest land mammals, they can average anywhere from 14 to 18 feet. But besides being very tall, they also have a very long and prehensile tongue that helps them be able to reach up towards the
Kaya sila
beak.
nagkaka-stick neck, no?
And if you've ever been curious to know just how long a giraffe's tongue gets, you guys can measure the very tip of your fingers all the way down to your elbow, and that's about the length of a giraffe's tongue, which is about 18 to 20 inches in length for an adult. Little kids, your arms are more about the size of a baby giraffe's tongue. Of course, with such long tongues, they don't only use them to pick the leaves off of the trees, but occasionally also to pick their noses.
They pick their noses.
Yan ang gusto kong pet, at least nakatira lang sa
Hopefully we'll get to see the rest of the tower as we continue on to the corner. We also see a herd of sable antelopes.
Yeah, more is coming here. They're gonna come here. What's the baby giraffe? Look at the door.
And here comes one of the little ones.
Hi, giraffe.
It's coming, the baby giraffe. What do you call the giraffe? That's your engine. You want
A little 2-year-old giraffe out
Oh,
here.
oh, it's poo-pooing.
Having to do the splits to reach down to the grass.
Look at that.
Babe, tignan mo nakatakot
Oh,
siya,
naka.
oh. Ah, that's
We've seen a lot of antelopes out here with horns. However, the animals we'll see on the right side have much bigger horns than any of the animals we've seen so far.
Look at the horn.
Got a very nice view of the Collie cattle out there on the right side in the corner. Very beautiful semi-domestic species from Africa. And this type of cattle can grow some very ginormous horns on their heads. Horns that can reach the length of 6 feet. It's very long. And that's actually about the same length as the benches you're all sitting on from door to door.
Yeah, please, Celine. Say hi, Auntie.
Ito maganda yan.
Hi.
Jimmy, hirap na yan sa puno. Maganda po ha.
Yeah.
Lagay ko lang sa loob.
As we pass by, maybe you guys will get a good view of her toenails there.
Wow, look at her, how long her
Oh,
toe is.
yeah.
Dark black, almost purpley in color.
Bye, giraffe. You see an actual giraffe.
I see red.
Hi, Dina, wait, look what she's looking at us. Look at her tongue is so long.
Bye bye.
I see it. You see an actual giraffe.
And then we have another antelope species right in between those orange flowered trees. These are the Ellipsin water buck. And if you guys carefully look, you might be able to see the 2 babies out there.
Where are the baby?
They recently just turned 3 months old.
Where?
Ghost.
That, the giraffe?
Ang cute naman.
Yan.
Yung mga antelope. Yung mga wala antena pa.
Super cute. You can definitely see when the other second baby's hiding right behind his mom.
Ah, they're all the
They're a little bit far away, but I always do like to point out they're one of the antelopes with the cutest noses out here. If you do get a really good view of their noses, or if you guys look up their picture, their noses look like little hearts. And they are also one of the animals out here in the fields that have a follow me mark. Kind of hard to see their full follow me mark because most of them are sitting down, and one of them doesn't have her tushy towards us, but right under tushy, you might see a little bit of white on there. If they would stand up, they have a complete white ring right on their tushy.
Maybe chocolate dito mo?
And that's what we know as a follow me mark.
Ang ganda sa ano, pag maaraw, talagang safari talaga.
But we're going to continue. We are reaching towards the end, in which hopefully we'll get to see some animals out in East Africa before making our way back towards the station.
So pretty.
Also, if you guys haven't gotten a chance to see some elephants so far, it makes it a little hard to see them for the next few years because their habitat is under construction. But if you want to try your luck in seeing some elephants, I would suggest you venture your way up to Kalima Point. At Kalima Point, very nice viewpoint, but right next to it, there's a area called the Earth Garden, and that's where you might be able to get to see some elephants.
We're done.
There's more.
Oh, here.
Meron sa Manila Zoo.
Here.
Let us see who is out here.
Wow! Flamingo.
It looks like everybody's doing some grazing on the hillside.
Where na tayo? Ikot lang. Dito tayo kumain kung ano na. Ito yung may nakasalubong tayo na kaparating.
First, we've got some of the Bachelor Cape buffaloes out there, and 2 of the rhinos.
Whoa.
Ah, there's a rhino over there.
Dito ba tayo galing kanina?
Oh, let's pasok.
Look at the white rhino.
We're gonna see who those rhinos are.
Saan? Gusto mo chocolate?
Okay lang.
Sige na nga, sige na isa.
Ano naman sila eh, naka-pre-pack.
Hindi, tsaka nag-ano si Itcha, nag-sore throat siya. Last nung biyahe namin, nag-chocolate siya, nag-chocolate, nagkasakit.
Sila, chocolate kids.
Ang layo, mamaya.
Yeah.
We've got two southern white rhinos right there.
You're welcome.
And as we take a pause right here, maybe you'll notice your ears. You can actually individually wiggle them. Those wiggly ears of theirs are not only cute, but they serve a purpose. They're gonna act like little satellite dishes, helping them to pinpoint to all the sounds all around them.
Dala mo